Angie, what is going on? Have you seen the state of this house? It's a complete mess! How can you stand to live like this? When's the last time you did any housework? This is really gross. You know it's a woman's job to take care of the home for her husband. Why would you do this to my son? Hi, Karen. Are you at my house right now? I didn't know you were coming by. Oh, so now it's your house. You better watch that little mouth of yours. This is not your house. This is Kenny's house. Don't you forget everything my son provides for you. Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Now that we got that straight, what in the world is going on in here? I can't recall ever seeing a house this dirty before. Aren't you ashamed? I guess I hadn't really noticed. Is it really that dirty? Dirty barely even begins to describe it. This place is a pigsty. Have you really not noticed all the dust bunnies in the corners? They're in every room. And all the windows have smudges all over them. Every last one of them. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have done something about that. You know, I do make sure I clean every weekend. If you don't have any time to clean up around the house except on the weekend, maybe you had better quit that job of yours. I still can't even believe Kenny lets you work. He deserves a more traditional life. He somehow convinced me that it's all right, but deep down I still believe a woman's place is in the home. I know you keep trying to tell me you can do both, but I'm just not seeing it. If you really could hack it, my son's house would never be in a state like this. All you young girls are way too selfish. All you want to think about is your own careers. What about your duties to your husband? Do you even know what a traditional marriage is supposed to look like? Like I said, I'm sorry. But I'm still curious what you're doing at our house. What's going on? I wasn't expecting any visitors. I mean, it's a weekday afternoon. You know Kenny and I are both at work at this time, right? Oh my lord. Did Kenny forget to tell you? That boy has too much on his mind. We're moving in with you today. We'll be living together from now on. Wait, what? You're gonna start living with us? Well, based on that reaction, it sounds like you hadn't heard yet. Yes, I will be here from now on. I can't say I'm too surprised Kenny forgot to tell you. He's already got so much to worry about between his job and a wife like you at home. Or maybe he didn't tell you because he's just had enough of you. So I just texted Kenny to ask him about this. He told me he doesn't remember ever agreeing to let you come live with us. So what's going on here? What? Don't you try to lie to me. My son would never say that. I know there's no way you can get a hold of him that quick anyhow. He's too busy with his work to bother with you. You're just telling stories to try and scheme your way out of living with me. I can see right through your little plans. I'm not making this up. Why would I do that when I can just ask Kenny? He said you messaged him saying that you wanted to move in with us, so that much is true. But he says he told you no in no uncertain terms. He said no such thing. Why would he turn his own mother away like that? I mean, he sent a screenshot of your conversation to prove it. He did what now? He certainly didn't give you his permission to come live with us. I don't know why you thought it was okay. So you just decided to go ahead and show up unannounced like this? You're not listening! Kenny said it was fine. Stop with the lies. I know my son would never turn me away. That's not what he told me. Listen, at least for today, could you please go back to your own house? We can discuss whether or not you're coming to live with us some other time, but we haven't even had that conversation yet. No can do. We already moved out of our old place. There's no going back now. What? What do you mean you already moved out? Is this some kind of bad joke? This can't be happening. It's no joke, honey. This is happening whether you like it or not. As soon as I started talking to Kenny about it, I got started on making the move. How could you just do that to us without our permission? Oh, and I have one more tiny little favor to ask of you. Could you pay the movers when you get a chance? Thanks. Are you out of your mind? Why should I have to pay the movers for you? I didn't even want you to move in with us. Well, I already told the movers that you would be paying for the move. I gave them your number, so I imagine they'll be getting in touch with you shortly. Why would you tell them that? Is that even legal? I never agreed to any of this. Shouldn't you be the one to pay them? You hired them after all. How is it my responsibility? I'm nice enough to come live at your house, and this is how you repay me. Why should I be the one to pay them? I'm doing you a favor here. The movers said it would be fine as long as I gave them your number. It's a done deal. So why don't you go ahead and take care of that for us, okay? Oh my God. Someone's calling me. I bet that's them. How am I gonna get out of this? I really don't want to pay for your move. Just answer it. There's no way you can avoid them forever. Oh, and by the way, Nancy is going to be living in your office from now on. All right. What? Why is Nancy coming too? I never agreed to that. Of course she's coming. She's always lived with me. Now she'll be living in the office. But I need that space for when I work from home. Plus, Kenny likes to play games in there. It's already decided, Angie. Nancy said she wants the room next to Kenny like when they were kids. I'll go ahead and move your computer and stuff out into the hall for you. Just make sure you take care of all that junk when you get home. What have I done to deserve this? Please tell me this is all just a bad dream. Wait, so where are you gonna sleep? If Nancy's taking the office, are you planning on sleeping on the couch or something? Why would I do that? I'll be staying in Kenny's room, of course. There's a nice big bed in there, after all. There'll be plenty of room for 2 people to sleep on it. Surely you're not serious. Please tell me you're joking. That is Kenny and my bed. There's no way you can sleep there. Angie, I'm getting a little tired of you arguing with me. From here on out, Kenny and I will be sleeping there. Isn't that a little creepy? He's a grown man. What's so creepy about it? I'm his mother. I don't see any problem with sharing a bed with my son. I bet Kenny will be happy he gets to sleep by my side again like he did when he was a little boy. I kinda doubt that. Have you even talked to him about any of this? Like you said, it's his house, right? And what do you expect me to do tonight? Where am I supposed to go? Why is that my problem? Why don't you just go sleep in the living room? That's more than good enough for you. Are you serious? Well, we're pretty busy getting ready for the big move, so I have to let you go for now. We'll see you when you get home. I'm sure you'll be so happy to see me, right? Hang on a minute. You can't just end the conversation like that. I still haven't agreed to any of this. You're right. There is one more teensy little favor I wanted to ask of you. We should celebrate our big move with something special for dinner. I'm thinking steaks. You can take care of that for us, right? And I don't mean no ribeye steaks. I'm gonna need filet mignon, medium rare. Thanks! Steak? But you know I quit eating red meat. Why should I cook steak just for you? Have you lost your mind? Are you still there? Please answer me. Why is this happening to me? Hello, Angie. I've got a bone to pick with you. Where in the heck are you right now, anyway? I'm at my parents' place today. Why do you ask? Do you need something? Back at Mommy and Daddy's house again? Isn't it time you grow up? It seems like you're over there every dang weekend lately. Why should a grown woman like you need to go see Mommy and Daddy so often like that? I told you why. Did you already forget? You know you married my son, right? Remember that? He needs you here. A woman's place is at home with her husband, not back with her Mommy and Daddy. It's not like I don't care about my parents anymore just because I married Kenny. You're acting like I should cut them out of my life or something just because I have a husband. Do you know how crazy you sound? I mean, after you got married, what did you do? I know for a fact that you're still close with your own family to this day. How is it any different for me? Do you not see the double standard here? Don't you go comparing yourself to me. You're just making excuses now. I know you say you're going to see your parents, but you can't fool me. I see right through you. The truth is, you're out running around on my Kenny, aren't you? I know what girls like you get up to behind their husbands' backs. Are you accusing me of cheating on Kenny? I would never do that. Oh, come on. I bet you're meeting up with some loser you went to high school with or something. That's the real reason you're always gone. I do have to admit, I'm surprised you could even land one man. But two, never in my wildest dreams. I told you I am not cheating. Are you even listening? You really don't remember, do you? Or are you just playing dumb? Remember what? I suppose not. Most of your chatter goes in one ear and right out the other for me. My mom collapsed recently, and she's been in the hospital ever since. She's in really bad shape, so I'm trying to spend as much time with her as possible. Oh, now that you mention it, that does sound kind of familiar. I suppose maybe you did tell me something about that. Even still, do you really need to go every week? You've got plenty to do around here, don't you? Your mom's lucky she still has her husband, unlike me. Can't he look after her? And what about all the doctors and nurses? Do you really think you can do anything for her they can't? I bet you're just in the way. Of course my dad is doing everything he can for her. And yes, she's getting the best care we can possibly get her at the hospital. But as her daughter, I feel like I have to do whatever I can for her, no matter how small it is. What's wrong with that? It seems perfectly normal to me. Well, I suppose it's not too far out of the ordinary. But I still think going every week is a bit much. Couldn't you just go every 2 weeks instead or something? Would that be so bad? No, that's not good enough. I don't want to have any regrets about not being there for my mom. What if I don't go see her one weekend and then I lose her? I don't want to lose my last chance to ever see her. I love my mom. Could you try to see things from my perspective for once? A husband needs his wife in the home. You know what they say. Behind every great man is a great woman. Who's supposed to clean up around here? Who's gonna cook for him? Did you ever think of that? You're trying to guilt me into doing housework at a time like this? You must be insane. Do you expect me or Kenny to be doing all that housework? You're his wife. It's your responsibility. That's just the way the world has always worked, Angie. I'm sorry your mother never taught you that. You do realize that Kenny has always been willing to help out around the house, right? You've been making my son do a woman's work? Yeah, why not? But I wouldn't say I made him do it. If I have plans on the weekend, he's always willing to do a little cleaning while I'm out. What's the big deal? He has always been really great about not expecting me to do everything for him. I can't believe what you're telling me right now. Are you telling stories again? You really expect me to believe you've been making my son do housework and he was fine with that? Huh, that chance. I just told you, I'm not making him do anything. We're both grown-ups. As a matter of fact, before you and Nancy invaded our home, we had been splitting up all the housework equally. Since you two arrived, without warning, in case you've forgotten that part, anytime he tries to do anything around the house, you tell him to stop. Are you so oblivious that you can't see he's trying to do it on his own? But since you won't let him anymore, now it all gets to be my job. Hooray! I'm so thrilled about that. And what have you got to complain about? Of course it's all your responsibility. Men need to focus on providing. Women need to focus on nesting. Housework and child-rearing are all up to you. This is the way marriage has worked forever. I wish my Kenny had been able to find a more traditional wife than you who understands these things. You're living in the past. It's not the 1950s anymore, you know? These days, barely anyone thinks like you anymore. Women's lib? Ever heard of it? Ring any bells? All my friends are like me and Kenny. They all split up the housework. Whoever has time to do it takes care of it. What's so weird about that? Don't you talk back to me, young lady. I'm trying to teach you a thing or two about keeping a man happy. I'm not really trying to argue with you here. You're never gonna change my mind anyway. And like, everyone who lives at the house is an adult, right? We are all perfectly capable of taking care of ourselves. That goes for you and Nancy too, you know. I'd appreciate it if you did your own laundry and dishes at the very least. Why do you think I have to take care of everything for you? You are really just not wife material, are you? I can't believe what I'm hearing from you. Maybe you'd be better off getting a divorce. Sounds to me like marriage isn't really your thing. Divorce? Who are you to decide that for us? You heard me right. You can just stay right where you are. We don't need you to come back home ever again. So I guess this is goodbye. Wish I could say it was nice knowing you. You're joking, right? You have to be joking right now. Hello? Karen? Are you still there? Do you really think you can kick me out of my own home? Let me guess, Angie. You're back at your parents' house again, right? Yeah, I am. So what? You really are shameless, aren't you? Don't you feel the least bit bad leaving my son to fend for himself all the time? This time you really should just stay there. I've had enough of your attitude, young lady. You can't tell me what to do. I'll be coming home later. Kenny even told me to just ignore all the crazy stuff you've been saying to me. He's on my side. Don't you get it? Kenny would never call me crazy. I brought that boy into this world. He knows better than that. You're telling stories again, aren't you? I promise you I'm telling the truth. Your own son thinks you're out of your mind. So how's your mom doing anyhow? Is she ever going to be able to come home from the hospital? We still aren't really sure, unfortunately. We keep asking the doctors, but they don't have any clear answers for us yet. They say she still needs to stay there for a while longer. Of course, we'd all really love for her to get out soon. Wow, she has really been sick for a long time. Maybe she's not ever gonna get any better. Oh, it must be so hard on you, Angie. How dare you? Don't you ever say anything like that to me again. I have to hold out hope that my mom will get better. Well, I talked to your dad about her condition, you know. It sure doesn't sound too good. He makes it sound like she's at death's door. You contacted my dad? Why would you do that? You could have just asked me. I sure did. You got a problem with that. Afraid I'm gonna steal him away? You know, Nancy and I have been worrying our heads off about this whole situation. Oh, you have, huh? Somehow I find that hard to believe. Because right now it sure sounds like you're enjoying it. Do you find pleasure in other people's misery? No. I am so worried I just don't know what to do with myself. Why, I've even been losing sleep over it. Your mom is still pretty young too, right? It's such a shame. It's not normal for someone her age to be so sick. Maybe this is the Lord's way of punishing her for her sinful lifestyle. Oh my God! You're the worst! You think this is some kind of divine punishment? I hope you're having fun. I'm sure your Lord totally approves of you enjoying my family's misfortune. Do you really think it's my mom's own fault that she got sick? What did she ever do to deserve this? No, that's not exactly what I meant. But you have heard of people facing the Lord's wrath for their wicked deeds, haven't you? Have you read your Bible, young lady? What goes around comes around. That's all I'm saying. And what exactly do you think my mom did that was so wicked? You know what? I don't want to hear this from you of all people. Well, maybe you had better think about it. It might be time for her to repent. I mean, she is deathly ill, is she not? She ought to ask the Lord for forgiveness. She must have led a life full of sin to be punished so hard at her age. My mom is the nicest person I've ever met. She wouldn't even hurt a fly. You know nothing about her. I'm sure that's the way you see her, Angie. She's your mother. You're looking through rose-colored glasses. Maybe she's awful to everyone else around her. Or maybe she ran around with too many men when she was young. Do you really think you know every little thing about her? Sometimes people are not who they appear to be on the surface. I know so many of my mom's friends and family. Not one of them has anything bad to say about her. Every last one of them will tell you that she's the nicest person they've ever met. So you can cut it out with your preaching about how she needs to repent for her sins. I don't want to hear that anymore from you. Oh, so you talked to a few of her friends and now you think you know everything about her, huh? You really think that's enough to disprove what I'm saying to you? I've read my Bible. I know how these things go. And so what if her friends like her? How do you know she's not nasty to all the strangers she meets? That is enough. Stop it right now. What is your problem? What are you even trying to say? And why do you keep bothering me while my mother is sick? I don't have time for this right now. You keep insulting my mom when she could literally die at any minute. What is the point of all this? What are you trying to accomplish? The point? I'm just trying to give you some advice. Let me tell you what I think you're trying to do. I suspect you're trying to make me so angry that I can't take it anymore and tell you I'm divorcing your son just so I can get away from you. Do you really think that will work? Are you really that childish? You're just waiting for me to give up, aren't you? Well, I won't give you the satisfaction. Bullseye, huh? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? If that's not it, then please enlighten me. Why are you saying all these awful things about my sick mother? That wasn't what I was trying to do at all. I would never do that. Not all women are schemers like you. Some of us have a little more class than that. I'm just the type who speaks her mind. I tell it like it is. Sorry if you've got a problem with that. That's your excuse? Maybe if what's on your mind is so hateful, you should learn to keep your mouth shut. Let me get this straight. You don't think about whether or not what you're saying will hurt the person you're talking to? Sounds like a horrible way to go through life. Don't you think about anyone's feelings but your own? What a sad person you are. No wonder your own son can't stand you. You take that back! I know he loves me. So you've had all that to say about my mom, who you don't even know, but you can do no wrong. Is that it? Have you really never thought about how everyone around you sees you? Maybe you should try it for once. Well, what about me? What did I ever do to you? It's not just you either. Nancy is also completely insufferable. We call her Nancy the Nightmare when she's not around. I guess she learned it from you, though, so it's not entirely her fault. Both of you blame all your problems on somebody else. Lately, it's been on me. No matter how awful the things you say and do are, I've never heard either one of you apologize for anything ever. And you live off of our money and never even say thanks. Oh, we're not like that. You're just imagining things. If we're following your logic, then it really makes me wonder. How come you and Nancy are still so healthy? I'd imagine you'd have both been punished for your hateful behavior a long time ago. If what goes around comes around, your words, not mine, then the two of you should be the most unhappy people alive. Who do you think you're talking to? And don't you dare bring my daughter into this. You've known us all this time, and this is the first time I've ever heard you say anything like this. We can't be as bad as you say. Because I'm not a mean person like you. I don't go around saying horrible things right to people's faces. But I can't take it anymore. I can't stand either one of you. Are you telling me you really didn't realize how I felt about you before? Why would I like you? You're awful to me. Well, how do you think we feel about you, Missy? I've always disapproved of your relationship with Kenny. Right. And like I said, he can't stand you either. No one can except your little mini-me daughter. It's so weird that your adult daughter still clings to you the way she does. Y'all are so gross. But neither one of you has any other friends, after all. What else are you supposed to do besides be miserable together? You had better watch your mouth. Who do you think you are insulting my Nancy like that? Look, I know your whole goal is to drive me out of that house, right? Fine. Have it your way. I'm leaving. You don't have to live with me anymore. What? Really? You're really gonna leave? Yeah, you heard me. So cut it out with all the nasty comments about my sick mother. You won, all right? I'm moving out of the house. I can finally have my son back. I know he's been suffering deep down living with a no-good wife like you. I've missed my Kenny ever since he got together with you. He's just never been the same. So you think he wants to get rid of me too, huh? Of course he does. I know my own son. So since you're getting a divorce, you better hurry up and get out of our house. Talk to you later. Hey, Karen. Y'all aren't at the house, huh? No, we're out right now. We're celebrating today. What exactly is it that you're celebrating? We're finally getting our Kenny back. He's been with you for far too long. Nancy and I decided to take a little trip to celebrate the occasion. Make sure you clean the place up while we're away, okay, Angie? You always book me about doing the housework. You don't have to keep reminding me. So, Kenny's not with you? Why didn't you invite him? We did, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. He said he had something he needed to do with the guys from his office. You know how seriously he takes his job. And you didn't even consider changing the date so he could come? Unbelievable. Well, we had already made the reservations. The hotel said they were gonna charge us the cancellation fee, so we decided to go ahead and go. It's all right. We'll still have plenty of fun, just the two of us. But didn't you make the reservations for 3 people? Wasn't that a problem? I know a lot of hotels won't let you change your reservations once they're made. How did you get them to let you make a last-minute change like that? Well, I thought about trying to change it. But the hotel told me they'd still charge me a cancellation fee just to take one person off the reservation. So we decided to invite Nancy's ex-boyfriend. We told him we'd pay for everything, so he came with us. Oh my god, you're nuts. So you're on a trip celebrating your son's divorce with your daughter's ex-boyfriend? That doesn't sound trashy at all. How does Nancy's ex feel about all this? Isn't it kind of awkward for him to hang out with y'all? I always liked him when he and Nancy were together. I wish they never split up. So I'm hoping maybe they can rekindle their romance on our little trip. Who could resist Nancy anyhow? I know she can get him back. Yeah, sure. I'm sure he's been wishing he had never left her this whole time. Sounds like you've got a foolproof plan there. I'm sure nothing could go wrong. I hope Nancy can finally find someone who can put up with her. I'll make sure everything works out in the end. Don't you worry about that. Look how well I did with Kenny. I got exactly what I wanted for him, too. By the way, don't forget to start preparing for your divorce, too. Maybe you can work on getting your affairs in order when you've finished cleaning. Since Kenny's not there and you've got the whole place to yourself, it's not like you've got anything better to do. Huh? Prepare for what now? You heard me. You need to get ready to get out of that house and my son's life. I don't want to hear any more excuses from you. We want you gone. Talk to you later. Hey, Angie. Where are you? What's going on? You need to tell me what you're up to right now. Oh, hi, Karen. What's up? How are you feeling on this fine evening? Is something wrong? Whatever could it be? You know exactly what's wrong. Drop the act and explain yourself. When we got home, my key wouldn't fit in the lock anymore. We can't get in the house. What have you done? Oh yeah, about that. That's not our house anymore. What? You must be pulling my leg. This isn't funny. Tell me what's really going on right this minute. Nope, I'm not joking. We don't live there anymore. Those 2 days you were gone, I moved everything out and sold the house. It no longer belongs to us. You can't live there anymore. And where is Kenny supposed to go? Did you ever stop to think about him? Oh, he's right here. He's making dinner at our new place as we speak. Like I told you, he doesn't mind helping out around the house. Your new place? What the heck are you talking about? Where have you gone and what have you done to my son? What do you mean? I did exactly what you asked me to do. You told me to clean the place up, so I did. In fact, I cleaned everything out of that house. It's spotless in there now. You know that's not what I meant. I thought you'd be happy. You were always on my butt about how I needed to do a better job cleaning the place up. I also told you to get your affairs in order so you can hurry up and divorce my son. I never said anything about you two moving out together. Why would I ever want that? Yeah, I know. So what? Why should I care what you want? I mean, Kenny and I never even considered getting a divorce. Why would we? What? But you said you would leave. Were you lying to me? No, I never lied. I left, didn't I? Just like I said I would. But this is not what I had in mind. You know exactly what I meant. Kenny and I have been working on this plan for a while now. I kept trying to tell you he couldn't stand you, but you wouldn't listen. Actually, I've been so busy going back home to spend time with my mom that I left almost everything up to Kenny. I'm really lucky to have a husband like him. He's such a great partner. That can't be true. Not my Kenny! Why not? Look around you. He left you and Nancy. Why would anyone put up with the two of you? You make everyone around you miserable. No, Kenny would never do this to us. I know him. He loves his family more than anything. Those are the values I raised him with. Are you sure about that? If that's the case, then why is he here with me now? If he really did love you, why do you think he never spent any time with you? Every time you invited him to do anything with you, he always just made some lame excuse. Didn't you realize that? Why would he take off with me if he wanted to be around you two? Are you really that detached from reality? No, he would never turn his back on us. He can't. You pushed both of us past our limit. We had no other choice but to move out to get away from you. Right after my mom's funeral yesterday, my dad and a bunch of my friends came over to help us out. That's how we were able to get everything out of there and into our new place so quickly. And we'd already had a deal to sell the place to a real estate developer for a while now. That was a really rough couple of days, but it was worth it now that it's finally over. Wait, did you just say your mom's funeral was yesterday? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention it to you. It's not like I wanted you to come to her funeral anyway, though, so why would I bother telling you about it? What's it matter to you? You had nothing but awful things to say about her. So, it was yesterday? Yeah, it was the day you and Nancy went on your little trip to celebrate our divorce. So, when Kenny said he had to do something with the guys from his office, that was a lie. Duh! We didn't want you or Nancy anywhere near my mom's funeral, so he just made something up like he always does. He had no problem lying, too. Like I said, he's used to making up excuses to avoid you. He actually really enjoys thinking up the stupidest reasons he can imagine. Why wouldn't you tell me something so important was going on? Why in the world would I tell you? Don't you remember all the nasty things you said about my mom? How she was a sinner and needed to repent and all that? After all that, you still expected me to invite you to her funeral? Are you out of your mind? I don't ever want to hear you say another word about my mother ever again. Why are you being so ugly to me? Look who's talking! You've got bigger things to worry about, though, don't you? As of today, you're homeless. Oh my lord! What have you done to us? What are Nancy and I supposed to do now? Where are we gonna go? Why should I care? Maybe you could go sleep on the floor at Nancy's ex-boyfriend's place or something. I'm sure he'd be delighted to have both of you lovely ladies come stay with him. That is not an option. She hasn't been able to get a hold of him since we left the hotel. I hope he's all right. I'm sure he's just fine. Probably was just reminded of why he broke up with Nancy in the first place. What did you think was gonna happen? He was gonna suddenly have a change of heart and propose or something? Of course he's doing his best to stay away from her after a weekend with you two. So I wonder how you and Nancy are gonna be punished for your sins. What goes around comes around, right? Maybe it's time to repent. What do you think? Stop it with that nonsense! You don't know what you're talking about! But you're the one who taught me all about that. Looks like you're just getting started reaping what you have sown. For starters, your son has just cut you out of his life. I wonder what's coming next. Stop that right this second! Well, it's up to you and Nancy to figure out what to do with yourselves now. Wish I could say I'm rooting for you, but I'd be lying. Wait! Angie! Don't go! Angie! Kenny and I blocked his mom and his sister. We heard a little about what they're up to from some of his other relatives. Apparently, they were able to stay at some distant cousin's house nearby. But apparently, that was only because they didn't know what they were getting into. It didn't take long for them to kick Nancy and Karen right back out. They roamed around from relative's house to relative's house after that, until eventually they wore out their welcome with every last family member that would still even talk to them. I have no idea where they are now or what they're up to. I honestly would not be surprised if they're sleeping out in the woods somewhere. Once we moved, I felt like I was finally free and my stress levels went way down. I'm still so sad that I lost my mom, but I'm feeling a little better day by day, and Kenny's been really supportive throughout this whole ordeal. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and let us know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this and press the bell for notifications.